In this video, we're going to learn about absolute values and order of operations. First of all, absolute value is the distance from 0 on a number line. So if I say absolute value of 3, that means the distance from 0 to this number is 3. So it's distance from 0 on a number line. And notice that when I talk about distance, the smallest distance is 0. So absolute value is always positive or 0. So let's look at some examples. If I say, actually one more thing is absolute value is expressed with these two straight bars, two vertical bars. So if I say absolute value of negative 13, my final answer would be positive 13. Again, it's all positive. The absolute value of a number is always positive. So absolute value of 21 is just that. Absolute value of negative 3 is 3, and plus the absolute value of negative 5 is 5. So the final answer of this is 8. And absolute value of 9 is 9, plus the absolute value of negative 8 is 8. And the final answer is 17. And let's look at number 8 here. The absolute value of a positive 4 is still 4. I keep this operation minus. The absolute value of negative 4 now becomes positive 4. So that final answer is 0. And in this case, absolute value works like the parentheses. So you have to take care of this operation first. 15 minus 23 is negative 8. And then now you can take the absolute value of negative 8. That's positive 8. So number 11, again, 28, absolute value is still 28. I keep the operation. Absolute value of negative 26 becomes positive 26. So my final answer is 2. Okay, you can fill in the rest of the blanks by using the exact same method. Again, when you take the absolute value, the final answer is either 0 or the positive value. Now, next order of operations. By now you should be pretty familiar with it, right? So we use order of operations first on integers, and the reason we do that is to simplify an expression by using a specific order. So we simplify an expression. Sometimes this expression can be done with numbers. Other times it's done with algebra symbols, and they are letters. And those letters simply represent what we don't know. So order of operations is to simplify an expression using a specific order. And that order, we all know by now, is PEMDAS. PEMDAS. Sometimes it's also called GAMDAS. P stands for parentheses, and G stands for grouping. So you can say this is parentheses and grouping symbols. Grouping symbols includes parentheses, brackets, fancy parentheses, all of these things, and absolute values. And E stands for exponents, and sometimes they're also called powers, right? 5 raised to the 3rd power, or 5 cubed. Multiplication, that's for M. And division, that's for D. And notice that we go from left to right. And same thing with addition and subtraction. It goes from left to right. Now, let's do some examples. So let's look at number 13. The The question is 7 plus 54 divided by 3 times parentheses 2. So we have to take care of this parentheses first, right here. Let's see. Oops, that's not gonna, that's a pen. I was trying to do the, trying to do a highlighter right here. So I have to take care of that parentheses first. So there's nothing in the parentheses other than the number. So I'm simply taking that number out of the parentheses, right? I don't have I don't have exponents. So next I have to go look for multiplication and division from left to right. And those are 54 divided by 3 times 2. So I leave the rest of it here. 54 divided by 3 is 18, and then multiplied by 2. Whatever I haven't touched, I just bring it down. Now again, left to right, 18 times 2 becomes 36. So my final answer is 43. Okay, so again, you look for the P first and then go for the E. Let's look at the number 14. And in this case, I don't have a parentheses, so I have to start with this power, the exponent first. So I'm not touching 17, I'm not touching the subtraction. 2 raised to the 5th power is 32, and then I keep the rest the same. See, notice I only took care of the exponent. So next I have to look for multiplication or division from left to right. So whatever I don't have, I keep it. Now I look at the division first. 32 divided by 4 is 8. And I'll bring the rest of them down. So now I don't have multiplication and division anymore. I only have subtractions and addition. Same thing. I go from left to right. So my final answer becomes 9 plus 6, which is 15. Okay? You can do number 15 on your own, but I would like to do 16, which has a fraction. Notice the fraction bar works just like the parentheses. You take care of upstairs first, then you take care of downstairs, and then the rest will fall into place. So let's look at the upstairs. The upstairs is 7 minus 2 squared, parentheses, plus 17. So we have to start with the P. We have to take care of what it is inside the P, inside the parentheses. So if it's 7 minus 2 squared, I have to take care of the E now. So I'm using the PEMDA rules twice. So 2 squared, 2 times 2 is 4. That's my parentheses. The rest of it come down. Okay? So now I look at my denominator. I have a multiplication here, so that has a higher priority than the subtraction and the addition in the front. So I simplify 2 times 5 there. Now if I keep going, again, upstairs, I'm taking care of the parentheses, so I would have 3 coming out of the parentheses. I still have the 17. Downstairs, I've got a negative 4. So now with that, upstairs becomes 20. Downstairs is negative 4. Now I can do my final division, which is negative 5. So again, when you have a fraction, you see fraction bar, you basically treat it as 2 different problems. The upstairs numerator is a problem, and the downstairs denominator is a separate problem. And once you finish everything you cannot do anymore, then you take care of the fraction. So let's look at some more examples in the back here. I have number 17. I have lots of exponents. I have some parentheses. So we got to take care of the parentheses first. Inside the parentheses, 8 minus 5, I have 3. And then I just copy down the rest of it. Now in here, I've got a absolute value, which is the same as the parentheses. So inside, I've got exponents. 5 squared is 25. I cannot do the subtraction yet because I have to take care of the next exponent. 4 cubed is 64. So now if I keep going from left to right, I've got 3 cubed, which is 27. and I've got an absolute value that I need to simplify. 25 minus 64 is negative 39, and then I copy down the rest of it. So here again, having the absolute value, that negative 39 comes out to be positive 39, and then I just divide the rest of it by write down the rest of it that I haven't touched, which is divided by 3. So now next thing I do is the division. 27 minus 13. So my final answer is 14. Okay? So that one has a lot of steps. Take a look at 18 on your own. And I will do number 21, I think. Let me see. Yeah, let me do number 19. So 19 is a fraction again, so we take care of upstairs, and then we take care of downstairs, then we put the upstairs together and downstairs together and do the division. So upstairs I have 5 squared, which is 25. I can't do the subtraction yet, so I carry it. Now I do 3 raised to the 4th power, because that's PEMDA, that's E in the PEMDAS rule, right? Now let's look at downstairs. 2 parentheses, so I have to take care of inside the parentheses first. 2 cubed goes first, becomes 8. I carry the next term, so I don't change anything. I'm still taking care of the parentheses. I have 6 squared, so the exponents rule first, and copy down the rest. Now I keep going. I know 25 minus 81 upstairs becomes minus 56. Downstairs, I still have parentheses, so I address them one at a time. And whatever I don't do, like this multiplication operation, I just carry it down. 36 divided by 9 is 4. So now if I do negative 56 divided by 12, I end up having negative 14 over 3. So you can leave it here, or you can convert this into a complex fraction like that, or you can say this is approximately 4.67. I will take that. Any of these answers would be good. Okay, so finish the number 18, 20 on this page, and then let's look at number 21. So 21 has fancy brackets. They work just like parentheses. So since we have the parentheses, we have to take care of that. We're leaving everything else exactly the same, but just take care of the parentheses, right? So that's what we have, negative 4. From there on, I keep going. And in the fancy parentheses, now again, I have to take care of this exponent. Negative 4 squared is positive 16, because negative 4 times negative 4 is positive. 2 negative makes a positive. Now, if I keep going, I can still do the inside the parentheses. I would have 48 plus 2. So then if I take care of that term, I have 20 squared divided by 50. 20 squared now can be taken care of, and my final answer is 8. Okay, so I'm going to leave the rest of it for you to give it a try. Again, if it's a fraction, take care of the upstairs, take care of downstairs separately. As the last step, put them together, upstairs and downstairs, and do your fraction. All right, guys, finish the rest of it, and I will see you in class. Bye.